What's up, everyone? It's Toast, Devin. Today was a continuation of day 42, 43. I don't know. Either way, high five, call him cute, give him your name, handshake. 5 times, 21, 21 times total. So yesterday I did like a double day. I don't know, I'm throwing up so many hand signs, but yesterday I did a double day and I got 6 approaches and I missed one. And then today I got 9. Um, and yeah, I had to go. One person gave me a handshake, and then 2 people gave me 2 elbow bumps. So it was okay. But one interaction stood out today. It was really interesting. Walked up to this girl. She's probably 35 or something like that. But she, had tattoos. She was kind of chubby-ish, but she was pretty. Whatever. Approachable. Probably like a 6 out of 10 or 7 out of 10, honestly. Um, but so I walked up. She had her earbud in, and she was like looking in the coffee shop, and she probably noticed me walking next to her, like waving, because she had earbuds in. She probably saw my shadow walking behind her in the reflection of the mirror or something. So it was like definitely a weird start. She looked at me, and I was like right next to her. She took her earbud out, and I was like, "Hey there, high five." And she's like, "Do I know you?" I'm like, "No." She's like, "What do you want?" I'm like, "I want a high five." And she's like, "Okay." And then she gave me a high five. And I was like, "Oh, you look really pretty today. My name's Devin." She's like, "Thanks." And she's like super suspicious or something, but she still gave me a high five. Um, I don't know. It was just interesting. She like was so suspicious of me the whole time. Like probably me following, like walking next to her, and then her turning around and me being right there was like weird. And then asking for a high five during COVID is weird. And then probably she doesn't get called cute that often, so that was probably weird for her too. So I don't know. It was just interesting. So I gave myself a lot of extra time before work today. I left my house at noon, went to the post office, which is real quick, and then I went to a Whole Foods, which is like a trendy grocery store. There's like a bunch of it was like kind of small. There wasn't like that many people in there, but one girl, I think there's like a lot of people doing like Amazon Fresh or something like that, like getting because I think it's like yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. So there's like this Asian chick. She's pretty cute. She had like a glove on, so um, walked up. I saw her first, and then like did the loop, and then I came back and like approached, said, "Hey, how's it going?" High five, and she gave me a high five, and then um, I was like, "I'm Devin, nice to meet you," and then I walked away, and I was like, "Fuck, I forgot to call her cute," so I like spent like a minute trying to find her in the store again, and then found her, and I was like, "Oh," and she gave me her name too. It was Christina, I think. I was like, "Hey, Christina," and she like turned around. I was like, "Oh, I just wanted to say you're cute too," and she's like, "Oh, thanks," and I walked away. So that was definitely an interesting approach as well. I like did it out of order, and I don't know why I forgot to call her cute. I just like said my name. Oh, she gave me a handshake. That's why she gave me her name. But then I forgot to call her cute, and then had to go back and then call her cute. So that was interesting. Whole Foods, it was like this Whole Foods wasn't great, but it's like Trader Joe's. It's trendy, hipster kind of grocery store. So there's definitely opportunity for girls to be in there. Maybe if it was a little later at like lunchtime or something. Um, because it just seemed like hella workers, like scanning items and all that shit. But after that, I went to a Safeway that was like maybe a 5-minute drive away. Um, and then it was like a little shopping area with like a bagel store and a Ross. So I walked around in the Ross, no one in there except old ladies. So I left, went to the Safeway, um, and there was this like cute Latin chick. I like walked up to her, and I was like, People were like really suspicious of me today. It was weird. I don't know. I like walked up to her, I was like, high five, and she's like, no. And I was like, all right, elbow. And she's like, okay. And then I called her cute, and she was still like wary. She's like, okay, thanks. And I was okay, bye. And then she like smiled and laughed, and I said bye. But yeah, it was interesting. I don't know if I was like being overly energetic or something, but most of the time when I go for a high five, I'm not like, hey there, high five. I'm like, hey, high five, so maybe that puts people off, I mean, I know if someone's overly energetic to me, that kind of is annoying sometimes. So I don't know. Um, Saw that same girl from the beginning that I got her number like a long time ago, but that never really went anywhere. But I see her on the street every now and then. Um, and we talked for a little bit. I got a high five out of her, called her cute too. And it was just like a normal conversation. I don't know if it's gonna go anywhere. I think we'll. I mean, I could possibly try and like talk to her and become her friend or something, but at this point, that's not really my objective. And she said she's a lesbian too, so I don't know. Whatever. But she's nice. It's cool to talk to her every now and then, and she gave me a high five, and I called her cute. But that's like an easy approach. That's not even like it's almost like not a real approach, but whatever. Couple of like ladies. Oh, I went, and then there was a girl like on her phone that was like at the table next to her, the first girl I approached. So I went up to her. Um, what did I say? I asked for a high five, and she's like, "No, I'm on the phone right now." I'm like, oh, "Okay." So I was like, "All right, interesting." She's like, I mean, it makes sense. She's busy, whatever. But I still tried to approach, even though she's on the phone. So I'm, that's like progress because I didn't bitch out because she's on the phone. No excuses. You got to do what you got to do. So that's good. But there was definitely some missed opportunities today. There was like a group of three cute girls that walked into Trader Joe's, and I think in my head, maybe I got like anxiety and like didn't want to approach the group, and probably I justified it like, oh, they're probably underage, I'm not gonna approach. But that's like a bitch move. Definitely not good. Definitely something to think on why I didn't. Groups are. I mean, the next day is groups, so this group was an intimidating group, but I've approached other groups of girls. Like today, actually, there's two girls. They're probably older, maybe 30-ish, chatting, eating lunch. I walked up to them and kind of adjusted the drill a little bit. I'm like, hey there, how's it going? Just wondering if you guys wanted a high five. And then they're like, no, it's COVID. But then one of them, before I did, was like, what about an elbow? I'm like, all right. So I give them both an elbow. And then I called them both. I said they both looked pretty, really pretty today. And they're like, oh, thank you. And I'm like, my name's Devin. Nice to meet you. And I walked away. So I don't know what the deal is. They were maybe because they weren't as like high caliber of girls for that. It wasn't as like anxiety inducing. So that's something to think on. Um, oh, and one girl, I was leaving the store and she left too. And then she was like walking away. So I like tried to get her attention. I was like, hey there. And she's like, oh, yeah. And like turned around and then like took a step back. And I was like, hey there, high five. And she's like, no, I don't want it. I'm like, okay, what about an elbow? She's like, no, I don't. She was like scared. It was interesting. She's like, what do you want? I'm like, I just want a high five. And she's like, okay. And like, was like looking around and like, walking back and all that stuff. So, um, that was definitely interesting. I thought it was funny, like these things don't really affect me as much anymore because like my friend has said this all the time before I even started approaching, he's like, it's fine to talk to girls because your intents aren't malicious. So their reaction is just like a misconception or a misunderstanding. And like, you personally, like me, know you're not doing anything wrong. So their reaction is because of some other thing, either they're not a healthy person and mentally, they're confused of the situation, they don't know what you want, I mean, these are all like mysteries to them at this point. So it was just an interesting reaction. She was pretty cute too. But she didn't give me a high five, and she wouldn't even stand like within 6 feet of me. Like, she was like definitely backing away, super like scared, I guess you could say. And then she like almost like she like got on the phone and like walked away really fast. Interesting approach, but it didn't really phase me at all. I'm just like that was a really interesting reaction. Um, like that was like an outlier of like all of the day. Either they just don't give you a high five and they just walk past you and you're like, all right, whatever. But that one, she like reacted negatively, which was kind of kind of funny, honestly. You know. So 9 total, 15 total approaches. I need 21, so that's another six. Tomorrow, excuse me, I'm gonna give myself as much time as possible. I still gotta pack for the wedding, so I'm gonna pack this night, um, and then like wake up early and plan my day out. So far I'm thinking go to the grocery stores until like 12. I'm gonna try and leave my house at 10. Go to the grocery stores until 12. Um, then go to the mall and then see how it goes there. So I got to approach groups. So I'm going to probably go to a place with a good food court. And then hopefully, I think it's only 12 groups, maybe. Um, and then I don't know. So I've approached some groups today, but I was like saving those for the next day. But those probably don't count. It doesn't work like that. So maybe I have more approaches today, but whatever. I'll just leave it as 15 today. It's fine if I do more. It doesn't matter. But grocery stores until noon. Rotate through the 3 different malls in my area, because they're all within like they're like 15-minute drives from each other. And then I could even drive into San Francisco and approach in a mall that I've never been. Like it's a pretty big mall, so it could be good. It actually maybe I'll go there first. I don't know. I haven't gone there yet. Parking is trash, but it might be worth it. I don't know if I want to take a risk um, on this mall. I'll have to think about it. But this vlog's getting kind of long, so call it here. Peace out.